You who are listening to me now, there is something about you that the world never understood. From an early age, you feel a displacement that no one knew how to explain. Even surrounded by people, you always felt that there was something more, a silent voice, an invisible touch in the spirit. You tried to fit in. He tried to erase the shine so as not to disturb, tried to be normal. But the more you silent, the more the sky shouted for you. And today, before this word, the Spirit of God, and calls you back in the center, back in Rio, back to purpose. Revelation 22 is not just a final chapter, it is an eternal echo. It is the calling of eternity, calling the separated from earth, the tired but faithful bride, the lonely, forgotten but consecrated, the emotional wounded but still standing. If you're listening to this, it's no coincidence. The Spirit is sealing yours. And this call, my brother, my sister, this call is for you. That's why you wake up at 3 a.m. without explanation. That's why you miss something you never lived. That's why your eyes burn without knowing why. You're not crazy. You are marked by the God who promised that he would seek his own. Revelation 22 starts with a river, but before speaking of the waters, the Spirit speaks to you, come. Come because your thirst is prophetic. Come because your pain is sacred. Come because your wait has a glorious end. You have been separated. You have been called. You have been awakened. But now you need to decide, will you follow as if nothing is happening, or will you get up as who heard the last trumpet? If it has already touched your spirit, if something in you is vibrating now, enjoy this video. Write in the comments, I hear the call. Subscribe to the channel, because here we talk to whom the world ignores, but heaven knows, and share it with someone who also feels this inexplicable thirst. But don't go out, because in the next few minutes, you will understand why your whole life looked like a desert, and why now, finally, the river begins to flow. Can you imagine that? A river, pure, crystalline, flowing directly from the throne of God. It is not any water. It is water that heals, that cleans, that restores the lost identity. It is water that silences traumas, that unties ministries, which gives strength to the tired. But here is the secret that few realize. This river is not just a future prophecy. This river already flows into those that were sealed. Do you feel thirsty? It is not the seat of recognition. It is not the headquarters of company. It is the headquarters of the source. Many who are listening to me now walk in the desert, but it's not a desert from the outside. It's a desert inside, where everything looks dry, where prayers seem echoed, where the spirit feels hungry, but the soul does not understand the menu of heaven. But listen, if you are thirsty for you, it is because there is a source waiting for you. You just need to stop drinking from the wrong waters. How many times have you tried to quench your headquarters with distractions, empty relationships, ministries without intimacy, words of men when you needed the voice of the Lamb? The river of life is different. It does not only fill the body, it transforms the soul. It gives you back the lost sensitivity. It heals that part of you that you didn't even know you were injured. This river does not come from men. He proceeds from the throne, and only those who approach with true thirst will be satiated. Jesus told the Samaritan woman, "Whoever drinking from the water I give you will never thirsty." Do you understand now why nothing has been filled in lately? Because it's time to go back to the throne, to abandon the shallow wells and dig deeper in the presence. Do not get used to the sequence. Do not accept a sterile faith without tears, without revelation, without brokenness. You have been called to live in a dipped, not just wet. Today, the river is before you. And you need to decide, are you going to keep walking thirst, or will you dive until you lose control? Because whoever enters this river does not come back the same. It takes away anxiety, rut the dried leaves from the soul, and carries you to the center of God's will. This is the invitation. Drink, dive. Let the river invade the desert of your soul, and you will see where there was pain, life will be born. Pay attention. The same river that flows from the throne supports the tree of life, and this tree gives no fruit once a year. It fruit every month. She never fails, never dry, never stop. Do you know what that means? It means that in the kingdom of God there is no stagnation. There is no lost time for those who are planted by the river. Each month, something is born, something flourishes, something heals. But here is the detail that many ignore. The leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. Sheets, not the fruits, not the branches, the leaves. Leaves are parts that, in human eyes, seem small, fragile, expendable. But in the heavenly economy, they are healing instruments. Do you feel small? Do you look at you and just see leaves? Do you think you don't have much to offer? Listen with fear and reverence. Even your leaves serve a pro-eternal dust. Those prayers that no one heard, that care that no one valued, that intercession in the silence of your room, those tears that no one saw dripping during the service. All of this is being used as healing leaves. What's more, your own pains are being transformed into medicine. You who were betrayed, you who were forgotten by the family, the ministry, the church, you who had to swallow the cry so as not to scandalize anyone. Now God is taking these pains and is planting you by the river. You will no longer be torn. You will be healing for others. But for that, you need to stay. You need to resist the desire to give up. You need to endure silence, contempt, anonymity. God is making you tree. And trees do not run. They grow in silence. They flourish at the right time. They shade even when they are tired. You are not a cut branch. You are part of the tree of life. And this tree has roots in heaven and mission on earth. Then listen. Do not despise your leaves. Do not despise your stations. Do not despise your pains, because what the world did not value in you, the sky is using as a healing instrument. You will be an answer. You will be shadow. You will be refreshment. And the most beautiful, you will also be healed while healing others. This word is for those who carry an invisible burden, for those who have tried to explain the pain, but no one understood, for those who smile on the outside and bleed inside. How many of you walk as if they are under something? Something that seems to pursue the soul, which prevents advancement, which wages relationships, repeats patterns. You try now consecrate yourself, but it seems that it always comes back to the same place. Am I talking to someone who grew up listening to damn words? You will never be anything. You are just like your father. You are a mistake. You spoil everything. These phrases were thrown as seeds, but produced thorns. But listen, Revelation 22:3. It is a sentence of heaven about your life. There will never be a curse there. The curse will be broken. The repetition will be interrupted. The cycle will be closed. But understand, God is not just promising to free you from the external curse. He wants to get out of you the belief that you deserve what has hurt you. Some carry the weight of abandonment, others the pain of abuse. There are those who live under spiritual, emotional, even familiar shame, as if they were always trying to prove that it deserves to be alive. But the throne of God, from where the river flows, is also the place where He breaks old pacts, hereditary curses, cursed words, and lies planted by Satan. When you enter the size of Revelation 22, you cross a border. The border between time and eternity, between human judgment and divine justice, between the burden of men and the lightness of the Lamb. You who live in feeling guilty about things that weren't even your fault. You who carry the responsibility for traumas you inherited. You who think you need to pay for everything. God is saying, it's over. There will be no more curse. Get ready, because this spiritual weight that accompanies you will be broken. But you need to believe it. You need to renounce the label. You need to stop seeing how the victim and start seeing as a child. God is taking you to a place where hell even can accuse you more. And this is only possible because the blood has already been spilled. And this blood not only clean, he cancels sentences. You are not cursed, you are chosen. And where you arrive, the floor will be restored. The curse they tried to put on you will turn into blessing for many. Then declare with faith, I am free. The curse is over. Now my time to be fruitful. Have you been through this? Pray and not hear anything. Fast and not feel an answer. Seek and not have direction. It is as if the sky is silent, and the most distressing, it's just that you know you have faith. You love God, you obey, you wait. But the absence of response seems a silent punishment. Listen with the Spirit. God was never far away. His silence was no absence. It was training. It was cut. It was purification. God's silence is the oven where he prepares the most holy vessels, the most used, the most prophetic. And when Revelation 22:4 says, they will see your face, it means that this whole process is about to turn into manifestation. You who cried and didn't hear, you who moaned the secret without return, you who missed a God who seemed distant. Today the Spirit says, you will see the face of God. It is not just a spiritual vision, it is a personal revelation. It is God revealing himself in your pain, in your call, in your waiting. Remember Moses? He spoke to God face to face, as who speaks to a friend. But before that, he was rejected, isolated, forgotten in the desert for 40 years. Silence was the way to glory. The same applies to you. Silence is not abandonment. It is consecrated dog. God is taking you to a place where many can't stand to enter, the place where the veil tears, where the face of God reveals itself, and where only the separate can remain. But there is more, and in your forehead will be your name. This is a seal, an identity, a brand that says, this is mine, he knows me, he saw me. You will be sealed, not by men's titles, but by the name of God himself. And when this happens, every doubt will be dissipated, every trauma will be healed, all insecurity will be replaced by glory. You have not been called to live with glimpses, you are called to see the face, to live in the presence, to walk in the light as he is in the light. Then listen, the silence is ending, the sky is opening, God's face will shine on you, and when that happens, everything will make sense. The trumpet hasn't sounded yet, but the sky is already in motion. The angels have already been positioned, the seals have already been broken, and the Lamb has already gotten up. I come without delay. This is not a verse to be read in a hurry. It is a judgment of justice. It is the King saying, prepare yourself because the one to come, it's come. Have you noticed the signs? Dreams have intensified. The world is in agitation. Creation moans, and the children of God are awakening. And in the middle of it all, you, separate, called, invited to align with the clock of the sky. Jesus does not come seek who is distracted. He comes to seek who is awake, who has the lamp lit, who has a clean heart. And he says, my reward is with me. That is, it does not come with empty hands. It comes with rewards, not terrenas, not passanas, but eternal. How many times did you do the right and no one saw? How many dawn have you sacrificed on the altar? How many tears did you offer without return? Nothing was in vain. There is a book, there is a memorial, and there is a reward. But here is the point. This promise is also a warning, because the same Jesus who comes with a reward come to give each one according to his work. This is the time to evaluate your heart. Are you ready? Are you living like who believes in the return of Christ? Or are you just spiritually surviving? There is no more time to live on appearance. There is no more room for a warm gospel. The bride needs to purify herself. The vase needs to break. The house needs to be in order. You are listening to this message now because heaven is summoning you. God is lighting a new fire on you, a fire that burns everything that is superfluous and leaves only what is eternal. The promise of Revelation 22:12 is glorious, but it is also a mirror. She shows us that the King is coming, and what he finds will be judged. Do you want the reward? Then live as one carries eternity inside. Pray like the one who listens to the groom's footsteps. Love as who was forgiven. Serve like who is starting, because it comes. Without delay, no warning, no excuses. Be ready. This is the climax, the apex of revelation, the last call from the Bible. The Spirit is crying out. The bride is crying. And now, if you heard everything here, you also need to say, come. Do you realize what is happening? It's not just God calling you. Now he expects you to cry for him too. It's an invitation and an answer. It is an eternal novel between heaven and earth. If you felt this video spoke to you, if each word resonated as something already hidden in your spirit, it's because you are part of the bride, not the religious bride, but the separate, sensitive, faithful bride, even in the midst of rejection. Do you have a holy weight, as if you couldn't keep leading a shallow life anymore? It is the Spirit calling you to dive. Dive into the river, dive in the presence, dive into the surrender. The bride is not known for the titles, but for intimacy, by secret oil, for surveillance, by silent obedience. You have been attracted so far not by a video, but by a divine cry. God is lighting on you a flame that does not go out. He wants you to shine, but beware. It is not human brilliance, it is heavenly glory. You will be light in someone's soul corridors. You will be an answer in the silence of another. You will be a consolation where there was trauma. But first, you need to drink from the river. Who is thirsty, come. Don't come with masks. Don't come with excuses. Come thirsty, true thirst, thirst for presence, thirst for eternity, because time is close. And those who do not dive now, they may not bear tomorrow. So I invite you, enter the flow of the river, be healed, be clean, be marked, and then shine. Let the light of God's face illuminate your call. The world needs to see the reflection of eternity in you. If you heard here, comment now on gratitude, because only those who have been played in the deep remain to the end. Enjoy this video. Share with someone who is thirsty, and if you haven't signed up yet, do it now, because here we hear the voice of the Spirit. You are the bride, you are Resp Oster, you are the one who heard and decided to say, come, Lord Jesus.